Yo, how's it going, team? Welcome back to a new video. So today let's talk about what's going on in Ukraine and my thoughts on something particular. Okay, we've got the Ukrainians are obviously heavily under attack, really suffering, and they're calling for all fighters or anyone who can come and help, and people are going over and they're helping, which is awesome to see. I am worried though. You've seen it over the news, you've got a lot of volunteers going over to fight, and personally it's not the help that they should be given, in my own personal opinion. I know people agree with me, there may be people that disagree with me, but in my personal opinion they shouldn't be going over to fight if you've got no military experience at all, whether you've served in the regular or reserves or done some sort of like private security or work abroad in a foreign country. You just haven't got the skills, the drills and sort of the muscle memory, in my personal opinion, to do it. Do what some other people are doing. They're taking over supplies, help out with logistics, get casualties out, etc. But in my personal opinion, the fighting needs to be left to the guys with the skills. This is this is like a situation that we haven't seen since World War II, possibly. Like the equipment and the tactics and what's going on in Ukraine is something we've not seen in a long time. You've got missiles, you've got fighter jets flying in the air, you've got attack helicopters coming in, going up against each other. It's full on army v army, okay? And this is where this normal civilian is going to be lacking skills. So just simple kit, the burrowing kit and equipment. Do they really know how to use that kit and equipment, how to keep it serviceable, how to pack it? They're then going to go over there and get given a weapon system, more than likely some form of an AK. A British soldier goes through 14 weeks basic training and does about 2 weeks weapon handling, do the weapon handling tests, and you manage to get them passed. That's intense, pretty much all day, every day nearly, worth of training. They do hours. Then in the evening, before they go to bed, they're spending hours and hours rehearsing it. They pass the weapon handling and they're still not that good. Okay, they still struggle, especially when they get put in high pressure situations, okay? So you've got things like stoppages, the unload, okay, the reload, so the magazine, okay, you got an empty magazine, any other sort of form of stoppage, like an obstruction, a loose magazine. People struggle when they're just on the standard ranges to sort of clear those stoppages, especially when they're new to holding a weapon system. Can you imagine being shot at, mortar, artillery going off and around you, and you've got a stoppage and you've got to try and clear that, and it's not muscle memory, you don't know how to do it subconsciously, you don't know how to automatically just carry out that drill. The simple thing of when you get a stoppage or an empty magazine, or they're both the same thing, but you get a stoppage, an empty magazine or something like that, just taking cover to replace that magazine. A normal person, I've seen it, will just stand there and put the magazine on, and you've got bullets flying overhead. Get down into cover, make sure you clear that stoppage, letting people around you, letting them know that you're in a stoppage, so that maybe they can start putting down a heavier rate of fire until you're back in. Okay, noise and light discipline at night. They sound simple, but they're not. And you generally can sometimes cause more harm than good, especially when you don't know things like tactics as well, and basic fire manoeuvre, how to patrol around at night and in the day, how to use night vision, fire manoeuvre, how to move forward to an enemy position, how to clear that enemy position. And this is urban warfare, the majority of this, urban, and the British Army are only just catching up to this again, because we did sort of conventional, Afghanistan, and now we're sort of going back into urban because we're understanding the picture of how the world's going. Okay, we've just created like new CQB and urban sort of warfare instructors and new courses for this, and it's nails. These soldiers with years and years of experience are going through these courses, and even they're struggling, saying this is a tough course to pass. And you've just got people with no background at all going into an urban environment where the Russians are invading en masse with missiles, rockets, tanks. They're sending in masses and masses of kits and equipment. We haven't seen this in years, right? And it is worrying, and I feel like there needs to be a stop. Someone needs to stop this. If you want to go over and volunteer, go over and volunteer in some sort of way. But unless, in my personal opinion, you've got the skills or the background to go over and fight, which there are teams going over, and it's good that they are. It's really good to see they're putting their skills to use, their experience. But in my personal opinion, if you haven't got the skill set, don't go. And you've done a little bit of time in the reserves, the regulars, private security, then most probably. My personal opinion is we need to stop it and go over and support them in another way. But I just wanted to say that, get my point across of why I believe I think it's wrong. It's really nice to see people volunteering for this sort of stuff, and it's definitely brave of them to go and do it. But you're just seeing a lot of influencers on Instagram going over just so they can tell some sort of war story and say I've done it. You could have joined the army over the last God knows how many years, gone to Afghan, Iraq, and other sorts of places. Don't just go there just because you want to say, oh, I was part of that. Go for actual genuine reasons to help, and because you've got something to give to the Ukrainian people. Ukrainian people need help with what we can give them. If you can only help with logistics, casualties and supplies, then do that, because you've got loads of supplies to give. That's awesome. Loads of food, loads of water. If you've got a genuine skill set, go over and help them with that. But don't try and start tapping into someone else's skill set, because it takes years to become a fully qualified and capable and competent soldier, and we don't want to lose any more lives than necessary in this war. But that's it. Let us know what your thoughts are on this, and I'll see you soon.